Law enforcement announced charges today against a global cybercrime network allegedly responsible for stealing $100 million from about 41,000 victims. According to Europol, a federal grand jury in the U.S. has charged the GozNym network with conspiracy. They are suspected of using malware to gain access to victims' bank accounts. The hackers would then launder that money with bank accounts that they controlled.
The investigation spanned 5 countries, including Bulgaria, Georgia, Moldova, Ukraine, and the United States. 10 individuals, including 5 Russian nationals, have been charged in the indictment. They remain on the run.
So joining us now is CNET senior producer Dan Patterson to talk about this. I probably sort of massacred that name, but it's obviously very widespread. They obviously made a lot of money. Tell us about this cyber criminal sort of ring and how they worked.
Yeah, so this ring used malware that's now in the wild, and that malware is called GozNym. And they did what we talk about a lot in the cyber world, which is they phished victims. So they sent emails that would prompt the victim to download an attachment. That attachment then installed malware on the victim's computer and pretty simply attempted to transfer money from the victim's banking accounts to the criminal accounts. They also used specialized software to bypass two-factor authentication. This is what we always encourage users to install on their mobile devices.
Yes.
It asks for a prompt to enter a second password. Well, these hackers very cleverly were able to bypass that.
Who were the victims?
So the victims ranged from regular internet users all the way up to government and corporate users. They were pretty susceptible to the same techniques that all of us are susceptible to, but this was a widespread malware attack, so it's kind of hard to answer who the victims were. We have a good idea of that the money was transferred from particular individuals' bank accounts, but because this malware has evolved and is still in the wild, it's impossible to get a sense of the scale of this type of attack.
So then is the threat over? How can we know that?
No.
Oh, gosh.
That's what makes this really, really fascinating. So look, these indictments did seem to have some sort of effect, at least in saying, hey, look, we are actually going to prosecute in cyber cases, which is kind of rare because attribution is usually very difficult. So this is saying, hey, look, we've gotten a lot better at figuring out who the culprits are, and we can figure out at least a few instances of victims who were tricked into forking over money. So what's most interesting is that although we can whack-a-mole with some of these culprits, that malware continues to evolve.
It's still out there, right?
It's still out there.
So will this indictment stop the spread of malware?
Not a bit.
Okay, well.
That's
sort of like,
not so
yes,
sweet
not
answer.
so sweet answer. Dan Patterson, always great to have you here to break this down for us. Thank you.
Good to see you.